Karen, and today we'll be talking about two books, both by the author of Fredrick Backman, Anxious People and Beartown. So today we're talking about Beartown by Fredrick Backman. I actually listened to it on Audible on my walk on the Camino de Santiago. So I was listening to it while I was looking at this landscape in Spain. I was always excited to get back on the road. This book is definitely one that you can listen to on a long journey, a long car ride, or in my case, a very long walk, like an all-day walk, several weeks. I think that I listened to it in 3 days. I believe it took that long. But this book had a huge impact on me. I think that each one of the characters were very distinct and unique and complex. And not only the main characters, but the other characters as well. The side characters definitely had an impact and had their own story. I am just amazed that Backman can write these books and understand how somebody of any age would feel, from the parents to the young adults, to the older people that had been living in the town. I was just amazed at his writing and his ability to capture the characters no matter the age, and also capture the complexity. So this is, the town is in Sweden. It is a hockey team, hockey town, and I am not into hockey. I would like to be into hockey, and there's definitely quite a bit about hockey, but it doesn't take away from the book. It only adds to the book. And so if you're not into hockey or sports, it doesn't matter. I think that you will find it very compelling, and it adds to the story and the characters and the situation at hand. And it really plays up a small town, how a small town could be divided easily by an accusation. And also it talks about the family's response to that accusation and the town's response. So I found this book compelling the whole entire time, and I know a lot of people, when they read it, they find that it's slow in the beginning. There's a lot of setup, but when I was listening to it, I was captivated from the very beginning and to the very end. So I highly recommend this book. I can't imagine anyone not pulling something of truth out of it. Maybe they're relatable in some way, from the family that comes into town to the small town scenario. But once again, I listened to it and was captivated instantly. Now, I found this book so much different than Anxious People, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Anxious People by Fredrick Backman is a very, very different read than Beartown. So, same author, same great writing, but very different type of book. This is a character study. I think that aligns a little bit more with his other book, A Man Called Ove, which I did start reading and could not finish. And I felt like this book, Anxious People, was written in a couple months, where Beartown is a book of craft. It is like an amazing book where all the characters weave together to bring this book alive. This one is very different. It's a group of people that are held up in an empty apartment, and we get to learn about each one of the characters. And then there are also policemen who interrogate them and trying to figure out what really happened. So there are a lot of characters, a lot of people that you're introduced to, and honestly, I didn't relate to any of them. I was not interested in any of them. I couldn't understand why they were not really explaining themselves when the policemen were asking them questions. It says on the top that it's wry, wise, laugh out loud funny. I didn't laugh at all. Maybe it's just me. I didn't find the humor in it. I didn't find that they were relatable at all. I know that's harsh. I was expecting something different. Maybe that was the perspective. But what I really liked was that once again, Fredrick Backman dove into something that was real. And one of the policemen had saw somebody jump off the bridge to their death. And this is really a story, I believe, of how one person's decision to end their life is another's decision to live it. And I really liked that part of this book, that it's weaved throughout, but I would have liked to have sat on that a little bit more. Instead of having all this stuff going on with all these different outlandish characters. They were big as life characters, and I think that there were so many of them thinking that maybe we would relate to one of them, but I found them unrelatable and not very likable. So that's just me. That's my honest opinion. So the Book of Ove, I know a lot of people love it. I couldn't get through it. This one, I read it. Maybe I chuckled a little bit, but I didn't find it that humorous. You don't find out later into why they're not really being honest about what really happened, but I think it really pulled from the opportunity to get to know these characters early on. So that's my honest opinion. I would highly recommend Beartown. It's definitely gritty, and that's what I loved about it. And I'm just amazed at his writing, and I look forward to more of his books. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time. If you like this discussion, give it a thumbs up. If you want to hear more like it, subscribe and turn on your notification. Thanks for joining me today.